Hey everyone, it is Friday, so it's time to start another week in the life here on Whitney's Tiny Life, and I am taking an easy day. If you saw last week's video, you know it ended up with a lot of people getting sick, and thankfully I did not get sick, but I was taking care of sick kids and all that, so I'm still getting over the exhaustion of that from being up all night the previous night. But my package arrived today for my next bear order, which is really exciting. And it is the first bear that I'm making using newborn size clothing. I've used baby clothes before, but they were size 3 months and larger. So this is my first time using newborn clothes, which is a challenge in and of itself because the pieces to make an 18-inch bear are bigger than newborn clothes are. So I have to be really strategic and make sure I plan everything out so I can like piece things together to be big enough where it is still looks really good. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the items that I'm going to be using for this memory bear. So when the lady contacted me, I asked her to also send some receiving blankets, so she sent these along, and then here is the little outfit that she sent. It's very adorable. It's got pants and a top and a hat and mittens, and I've already planned it out. I was hoping I could use the mittens for the feet, but they just are not big enough. Even once the elastic is taken out and everything, they're just not big enough. Here is the piece for the foot, and as you can see, like, it's just not big enough. So I think what I'm going to do is make the bear, and then when it's done, I'm going to put the hat and the mittens on the bear, so the bear's actually wearing them. And I hope he turns out really cute. So here's the pants, and I'm going to use this little tag that's on them, because I like doing stuff like that. When there's a cute little tag, I try to incorporate it. So that's going to be on the foot. I'm going to have to unstitch it and then restitch it on the foot. I'm going to cut the head center out of the pants and the feet, and then the front side of the ears, and then my body piece here is going to be like that. So as you can see, I'm going to need to piece in some fabric here and some fabric down here. So I'm going to use this gray fabric from the sides and piece it in there. Going to be pretty tight. There's not a whole lot of extra, but I think it's going to work out. And then for the other part of the front, I'm going to cut here where the snaps are, and I just have to add some material at the bottom here, and I'll just use the side over here. And then the rest of the pieces are going to be from this white receiving blanket and this one with the animals. I don't think I'm going to use the green because the only thing the green coordinates with is the birds here. And since this receiving blanket is only going to be on the back, I just thought it'd be better to just stick with these two. But yeah, I think he's going to turn out really cute. It's just going to be some extra piecing and things that I don't normally have to do, so it does add to the time. Oh my goodness, that tag is cute. So it is going to take longer than a bear normally does, but I think it's worth it because it's going to be extra special. So that's my plans. I'm probably not going to start in on it today because I'm just not feeling like sewing and cutting today, and I don't want to mess it up since there is so little fabric here. I do not want to start in and then accidentally mess something up and not have enough material to do what I want to do. So I think my plan for today is just to watch Netflix, to be honest. I might film like a quick haul video or something, but other than that, I don't think I'm going to do much today. Just take an easy day, and then that way I can really get started, jump right in on this bear on tomorrow, and get a lot of stuff done in a very efficient manner. So that's it for today. Hi everyone, it is Sunday, and I am terrible at vlogging. I actually just came in the sewing room to find my headphones. I was in here earlier filming a ton of video stuff and was about to start editing, and I came to find my headphones and then was like, oh no, I haven't vlogged anything. So I am working on a ton of videos for the Whitney Sews channel, and they're kind of like in out of order on how I'm working on them, so they should all already be up by the time this video goes up. I'm working on a video that is my entire pattern collection. I have so many patterns, and I bought more yesterday. Here is actually 22 more patterns that I bought yesterday at the store that's going out of business, and I will show you a couple of them. Let's see. Excuse me. I got some really cool, like, vintage reprint Vogue and Butterick and McCall, which is funny because I normally prefer simplicity patterns, just because that's like what I started with to begin with when I started using sewing patterns. So there's just a few of them. So when I first started sewing with patterns, I stuck with simplicity, and I'm not sure if it's because like they were what was on sale or what, but I liked simplicity. I got used to how their instructions were written, because all the different pattern companies have a slightly different way that they write the instructions. And when I first started sewing with patterns in like late middle school or early high school, I used a couple of patterns. And then in college, I started using more of them, but my mom would kind of like walk me through the directions. And so that's just the ones that I seem to understand the best. Not to say the other ones aren't written well, or written as good. I don't think any of them are written super well, because they kind of condense what needs to be said into the fewest words possible, which, if you've been around sewing a while and you kind of know how things go together, that's fine. If you're newer to it, it can be really hard. But so I learned how to use the simplicity instructions. And but what I've picked up most recently are the Vogue and the Butterick and McCall, and the reason for that is because they've been going on sale more recently, especially at this store that's going out of business locally. And I talked to the owner, and the reason his simplicity patterns weren't on sale was because simplicity allows you to mail back the patterns that you don't sell in your store. So since his store is closing, he was able to send back his stock to Simplicity and get a refund. So he, of course, was not going to sell them at the bottom dollar prices, because he could just get back what he invested in them by sending them back. So all of my recent additions to my pattern stash has been Butterick, McCall, and Vogue, which is fun. It's fun to look at the patterns that I really hadn't looked into much before, just because I was comfortable with simplicity, and that's what I mostly gravitated toward. But anyway, so I dug out all of my sewing patterns. There are so many, several hundred. I'll go with that. And that's after I got rid of like 30 to 40 patterns a couple months ago when I was destashing. And so I photographed every single pattern I own, and I'm putting them all in a collective pattern video. And then I just did a haul for the stuff that I just bought from the store that's going out of business. I'm also doing a frequently asked questions about my pattern stash. I have so much going on to do with patterns. I have a pattern walkthrough coming up. Just lots of stuff. This is the time of year when I get inspired and excited about patterns. Like I've talked about this before, but during the winter, I just don't get excited about taking on larger projects. It does not excite me. It does not inspire me. During the summertime is when that sort of stuff makes me happy. So while I am in this excited mood about patterns, I'm definitely taking full advantage of it and trying to get a lot of stuff related to patterns on my channel, because I know they intimidate people. A lot of people have told me, like, they don't know how to read patterns, or they'll use the actual pattern, but they won't use the instructions because they don't understand what the instructions mean. And I think that is that's saying a lot, because like I said, the instructions are not beginner friendly on most patterns, but I think it's a good thing to learn to understand the patterns, because there's definitely a lot of techniques that even me, I've been sewing, I've been quilting since I was like 12, 13 years old, probably about 13. So 18 years, is that right? I'm 31. And then I sewed my first clothing item when I was probably like 14 or 15. And then in college, I started making some costumes for me and my boyfriend at the time. And then I've made costumes for like me and Jeremiah. I used patterns for those. I used to call my mom in college and be like, okay, here's the pieces I'm working with. Here's what the pattern says. I don't understand this step. And I would try to get her to like talk it through over the phone without her seeing a single thing of what I was working on, because I didn't have like a phone that I could text a picture with back then. My poor mom, she would try to like interpret this stuff over the phone and have, you know, neither of us would have any idea what we were doing because she couldn't visualize it very good and I didn't know. But yeah, so even though I've been working with sewing patterns for years and years, like I'm still learning new things from them, and I love that because I learn new techniques that I can apply to other projects. So I think it's really important that if someone does want to do things other than like quilting and things like that, to learn at least the basics of reading sewing patterns, because you know, you can use like a collar pattern all day long, you know, like pull that from a pattern and use it on a project. But if you don't understand like exactly how it goes together in the right order, then you probably won't have the proper finish and things on what you're making. And I think that's so awesome to know like exactly how to properly finish things. And there's always more than one way to finish something, but I just think it's a good skill base to have. So anyway, I will stop rambling about patterns. I have a lot of videos to go edit, and if you don't follow my main channel already, I don't know how you found this one, but over on Whitney Sews on YouTube and whitneysews.com, lots of stuff coming out about sewing patterns. I'm also still doing my sampler sew along, which is a monthly quilt thing. Lots of other projects, so you definitely need to be checking it all out. There's been a lot of hauls lately that a lot of people have enjoyed, so a lot going on over there. Make sure you watch all the videos because I work really hard on them, and I love, love, love knowing that they are helping you all learn new things. And yeah, something's beeping. I don't know what. Anyway, I need to go work on editing, so I will talk to you all again later. Hi everyone, it is Monday and I'm going to have a laid back sewing day. I think I'm going to work a little bit on the mock-up that I'm making for dress pattern that I have in progress. I'm going to sew the darts in the skirt, sew the skirt together, and then see if I can get the skirt sewn to the top of the dress. And then I'm still waiting on my invisible zipper foot to come in so I can put in the zipper and see how the mock-up fits. Once I'm done with that, I think I will start prepping my bear order that is using the little baby outfit. I probably won't get all the pieces prepped today. I just want to get going on it, get started, so that I have made some progress on it. And then tonight's my work night, so I will be doing lots and lots of editing tonight because I have a ton of videos that I'm working on for Whitney Sews. I am so thrilled with how many videos that I have coming out. A lot of people say like to be successful, quote unquote, on YouTube, you have to post like one video a day, and that is just not really possible with the type of content that I do. I can't put out like that many tutorials or progress videos a week. Like that's just not feasible, especially since I have 2 children and I only work when they are napping and then one night a week. But I have had a lot of haul videos and pattern videos and stuff lately that have allowed me to create extra content that is really easy on the editing side. So they are quick videos to put out, and you all seem to be liking them, which I'm glad when you all like my content. I mean, I make what makes me happy, but it is even better when other people like it too. So I'm just really glad with how much I've been able to, how many videos I've been able to do lately. Most of that is thanks to the new computer that I got a few months ago. It is so much faster, so much better. But yeah, I'm just really happy with how YouTube is going right now, and that's awesome. So I haven't had a sewing day in what seems like a while, so I'm really excited to do some sewing today, and then I'll get my YouTube work done tonight. It is Wednesday, and I have already done a little bit of sewing. I am working on the memory bear order that I was working on yesterday, and I'm hoping to get it done today, but I probably won't get it completely done. And then I have to clean my sewing room because my mom is coming tomorrow, and she needs to stay the night in that bed. Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. So I have to get that bed cleared off and the floor cleaned up and everything so that my mom will have somewhere to sleep tomorrow night. Yeah. It's a big task. So I'm going to see how far I can get on this bear and then stop and start working on the bed. I'm hoping that the kids will take a nice long nap today because they didn't actually nap yesterday, which was kind of frustrating because then they were super cranky last night and they kept fighting and stuff, and it was not good. So I'm hoping they will take nice long naps today so I can get a lot done and they will be in better moods, which is always, always nice. But anyway, I need to get back to sewing, so I will show you my progress in a little bit.